Hey gang, it's me Uncle Todd here, and just finished watching She-Hulk. And this episode, they've kind of hit their I'm not sure what the right word is, but they've kind of got their trajectory now on what their shows are going to be like. It's part law, part sitcom, part fantasy. In this episode, a magician known as Donnie Blaze, who apparently had flunked out after a week trying to learn the mystic arts, is using the ring they used to transport themselves with in his magic show. And unfortunately, his latest magic trick sent a drunk party girl to another dimension instead of just somewhere else in the city. And eventually she ends up in Nepal at Wong's sanctuary, where she had to give some of her blood to a demon in order to get back to this dimension. But she's totally cool with that, because he was a really cool guy. So Wong contacts Jennifer and he wants to sue this guy to stop this. So they go to court, and things don't go that well. The judge is having a hard time believing in real magic. And so she's going to render her, after testimony from the drunk party girl, who is drunk again. Apparently she drinks all the time. And Johnny does some illusions that kind of tick off the judge, although the rabbit at the end was rather sweet. And so he will not enforce an injunction until she makes her decision. Then Jennifer's having trouble finding a date on you swipe Tinder, I guess. Has herself, so she does She-Hulk, and then we get a montage of disastrous dates until she meets this nice, very fit, muscular doctor, and she's having a great time on his date. Unfortunately, at that point, Donnie had inadvertently opened another portal, and demons were coming out during a show. And he teleported to Wong to ask for help, and Wong went to take care of the problem. And he had Donnie call Jen, but Jen's not answering because she's on a hot date. So Wong shows up at her apartment to get her help, and they go, and he's beating the crap out of demons while he rounds them up, sends them to another dimension. Meanwhile, she's bitching constantly about how she was on a hot date. Instead of locking lips with this guy, she's got to get covered in demon goo. But before the last demon goes out, she uses it to kind of enforce on Donnie that he's got to stop this. And he agrees, fearfully. And she gets them all back. Then she gets returned to her date. And in a cute little reversal, she picks the date up to take him back to the bedroom. And the next morning, she is Jennifer again. And he seems rather less than enthused about that before he leaves. But she hasn't got time to worry about that now, because Titania, from the first episode, has trademarked the She-Hulk name and is now suing Jennifer for copyright infringement. Bummer. But after the credits, we get a hilarious ending scene where the drunk party girl is just hanging out with Wong, watching Soprano episodes, eating popcorn and talking about stuff they like to drink. This is becoming a very, very funny show. There's a great bit where Mark Lynn Baker, as She-Hulk's dad, comes over with a bunch of stuff to add security measures to her apartment because of the attack she got in the last episode. And he's carrying in a shovel, and she's like, "What's the shovel for?" "It's for digging." That's all I'll say. And of course, the montage of bad dates, those are always a great source of humor. I like one where she and this one guy, the Czech, is sitting between them, and they're both inching towards, she's inching towards her purse, and he's inching towards his satchel. They're both about to whip something out, and she's got her card, and he pulls out his card key. He goes, "That was great, gotta go," and he leaves, and she's kind of relieved. Yeah, she'll take the check. I'm really liking this show. It's very enjoyable. Probably one of the better shows Marvel's come up with. It's got enough action for people that want superhero action, and but a lot of humor, character-based humor, which I always enjoy. And there is some trouble with the CGI I've been noticing the past few episodes. It's mostly when she's walking, just like walking around the office or walking from one place to another. The CGI looks off, but most times it looks pretty good. And she's talking to the audience more, which is very entertaining. She comments on her own episodes. After she gets served, she looks in the camera and says, "Well, that's a downer way to end an episode. Hope there's an amusing post-credit that'll cheer everybody up." And of course there is. But yeah, another great episode. That's about all I've got to say about this one. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.